but there's no ceiling to the amount of wealth you can garner, and there's no limit to the amount of billionaires that can exist concurrently at the same time.
But that's what, and isn't that an issue though?
We live?
We live.
We live. Welcome back to the Opinion Factory Podcast, Quarantine Edition, the podcast for free thinkers and challenge seekers.
Yes, sir.
I'm Khelil.
I'm Alex. Here we got today my boy from Framingham, the entrepreneur, the political activist, TRose. Say what's up, man.
What's up? What's up? How's it going, people?
Man, been doing all right, man. How your pockets feeling, man? My pockets is like, I don't know right now, man.
Funny, you know?
Man, the work not feeling right now, you know? They come back on hours on everybody. Unemployment's through the roof. And it just got me thinking, this whole time, right? It's like record unemployment right now. It's like 30 million people applying, all this type of stuff, man. But there's a lot of people doing all right now. Well, I mean, all right, I'm not talking about like still working full time. I mean, like,
Yeah.
all right, you know?
Yeah.
Like
No struggle.
like Jeff Bezos, all right. And it just got me thinking, it's like, how you feel about people having this certain amount of money in a time like this?
No.
Well, I kind of. All right, you go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, you said.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, when it comes to like Jeff Bezos and all these dudes with money, I feel like they're under a lot of pressure right now. Obviously, not having the same kind of troubles we are having, but I don't think they do it right now in terms of like their quality of life. If you were just talking money, like they're doing all right in terms of money, then sure. But like when it comes to everything else,
Like
the
what?
amount of pressure to keep the business profitable, to keep it running, to keep their employees happy, to keep their employees in general, like that stuff we don't have to worry about. But people in that position, that's stuff that they got to worry about all the while under, public scrutiny.
But I would say to counter that though, that the problem is that those guys have so much money and so much invested, not just for, them to be profitable, but if they fail, so what I mean by that is you got these small business loans that they're giving out right now, right? How is it that this story just came out today, Los Angeles Lakers, they returned their small business loan, right?
Peep that, man. That's crazy.
Los Angeles Lakers got a small business loan.
The Los Angeles Lakers got a small business loan, man.
How?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like going down the street. My favorite burrito place is about to shut down. I'm like, that's mom and pop right there. And I'm like, how did the Lakers skip the line in front of these people? It's just so, I feel like.
You think it's because they had money already? They got priority?
Well, I think it's because they make the rules. Now, when we think about billionaires, right, a lot of times people talk about how, they're ragged to riches or like, they're doing a lot of philanthropy. But the way I look at it is that's really all the PR team, putting on a show for them. Because let me ask you a counter question. Okay. You said that they have to deal with the public scrutiny, their workers. Well, how did they get to the point where they became billionaires?
I mean, I'm sure every story is different.
But on average, like, how did they get there? Was it them on their own?
I doubt it.
Right. So it's the workers. So why is it that during this time, like Alex is saying, like we're all struggling, people are getting cut back on the hours. Why don't those guys take a pay cut to help some of those people who are doing the day-to-day stuff?
Well, when it comes to that, I don't think the problem is that they're billionaires. It comes down to like a personal moral question, right? It's not the fact that they got money. It's the fact that what are you doing with this money now in a time like this?
You see, and this is where like the thing I don't want to get, like it might get a little tricky. Like I don't want to count other people's pockets, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there comes a point in time where it's just like, yeah, you just got too much, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, you just got too much. Now, everybody else say,
you can never be too rich, too good looking, or too well protected.
Yeah, if you live by yourself, maybe, but you live in the society, you live in the country, like, and there's only so much amount of resources. So it's like if
Well,
I'm
when
holding,
it comes
if I'm
to when
holding
it comes
all
to
the,
money,
yeah,
do we have finite money?
I don't know, but I
No,
mean,
not really.
I mean, if it's infinite money, then money's useless, though. You know, like it's
No,
just
but
it's just like
everyone
a.
has, but there's no ceiling to the amount of wealth you can garner, and there's no limit to the amount of billionaires that can exist concurrently at the same
But
time.
that's what. And isn't that an issue though? You
No,
don't think that's like a problem?
That's a great thing. I think.
no, I think, but the problem is we've been kind of given this perception that we all, if we work hard, we'll get there. But how is it that you're working 2 jobs to, not you specifically, but you know, people in general are working 2, 3 jobs to pay one bill, and these guys are just getting paid like insane amount of money. Like, here's just a quick fact: is like it's in the '60s, the CEO to worker ratio is like 20-1. So every $20,000 they make, the worker makes $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's like 1,200 times or something crazy. And
yeah,
it's just
I think
like,
I saw that a couple years ago, actually.
yeah, and it's just like it's gotten to the point where it's so much money. It's like, how can you honestly live with yourself or be flying jet to jet? You know, you have properties the size of islands. Some of them got islands. Mark Zuckerberg, and
All right,
and then you got people who can't even pay their bills.
So I'll ask you this: do you think there's such a thing as an ethical billionaire?
No, yeah, honestly, no. I think, you know, and that's the thing is his original question, Alex's original question is, should billionaires exist? I'm going to say no. And the reason is, let me ask you both, who do you think is the best billionaire or the model billionaire citizen?
Gates.
That's what everyone says, Gates, right?
I'm thinking Elon Musk.
Elon Musk?
He's pushing the scientific boundaries, you know what I'm saying?
So, right. I love a lot of stuff that Elon Musk does as well. Like, I'm a big science guy. I push for that as well. But the way he got his money, you got to think, is that ethical? Now, a guy like Bill Gates, right? We all know about, you know, his Netflix documentary he has. He's trying to save people in Africa. You know, we all saw the poo-poo videos. He's trying to, you know, get the toilet seats and stuff.
Right.
But how he got there was working his the Microsoft workers till like they burn out. I mean, it's crazy. Like, so you go to Microsoft on the first day and you're like, damn, like they have gyms here, they got showers here, the food's free. But then what's the cost of that? The cost of that is you got to work 50, 60, 70 hours. So,
right.
You know what I mean?
So now here's the, so all those Microsoft employees that he worked to the bone until they burned out, what happened to them? Did they burn out and leave? Did he abandon them? What if he would have taken them with him? And now instead of Bill Gates, we have like the Microsoft guys, you know, like 5-6 billionaires who got rich off of Microsoft. Would they then be unethical because they did work themselves to the bone, but then they all came up, which would have been possible, I think. He could have brought all those guys with him, but he didn't. I don't know why. I haven't really watched a documentary or looked into Bill Gates' biography like that, but
yeah,
it seems like a lot of problems with billionaires isn't the fact that they got money, right? It's the fact that they got it in a shady way and then they're using it probably in shady ways.
I feel like
I wouldn't. Yeah,
I feel like a part of the problem is they do like there is too much, bro.
Too much money?
Yeah, if I got for one person. I understand what you're saying about like it's like a very like American like dream type thing where it's like, oh, I come from this, you know, and if I'm making this much money, it's like I'm allowed to make it. It's still legal. But I feel like there's a point where it's just like too much money.
Well, let me ask,
like no one person should have that much power. That's where I'm coming from.
Totally, that's the problem.
You know, like if I have all this power, what makes me any different? Like imagine if I'm like a billionaire, right? I just buy my whole block. I buy every business on the block. I'm in complete control. There's almost no other resources that, like the resources I have, you have to get them from me, right? Or there's a competitor, but that dude's thing costs way more money than mine,
right?
So in turn, I get to just have a monopoly on everything.
Talking like Walmart versus your mom and pops.
Jeff Bezos, Amazon.
Yeah, right. Like we all shit on Amazon. Amazon treats its workers like trash. But where's the first place you go when you go to buy stuff? Go to Amazon.
Not me, but yeah.
Yeah, not me.
You know what I'm saying? Like, most people go to Amazon. Most people go to Amazon because it's cheaper.
Totally,
So
right.
it's like, it's kind of like forced to go to,
Well,
even though you don't like these people.
Right.
I would never blame the consumer because, you know, it's like a Robin Hood type thing. You know, it's like, look, you got to support your family, feed your family at the end of the day. I mean, one of you guys, one of your episodes, you guys were talking about, you know, supporting Black-owned businesses and this
That's
and
exactly
that.
what I was thinking about.
Like, so, okay, but not everyone has that luxury. I kind of look at
Exactly.
it. I kind of look at it as, you know, you kind of have to support those things. But the problem is when you have Walmart or let me go back to Microsoft, for example. So there's no diversity really on their board until maybe 2014-ish, right? And now I think they have 2 women, 1 Black guy. But the 1 Black guy that they have on there owns part of the Golden State Warriors. He was almost on Obama's administration. And it's like, you when you have that much power when you're a billionaire, when you have that much money when you're a billionaire, you start recreating the whole rules because now you're in the politicians' pockets. Now you're demanding, you're controlling what the market is. How can, if I'm an entrepreneur and I'm creating my own small business, I'm a black owner, right? I'm selling socks. My socks I gotta sell for $20, but he's putting the price at 10 because he can, because he has so much money. He's like, well, I'm gonna make 50 cents on the dollar, but hey, at least Tyrone can't compete with that. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it starts to get kind of.
You know what this is reminding me of right now? Now, this is not, I know this is a weird comparison. Don't take it literally, right? But this reminds me of, this reminds me of BVS. And this sounds a lot like Batman's argument why you should kill Superman. No one person should have all this power. I'm not comparing billionaires to Superman, but he's saying that Superman should not exist because no one person can have that much power, and that much power is obviously going to corrupt you.
All right, cool. And if we use that example, Superman's a good guy, and Superman hasn't been corrupted. But let's say Superman does get corrupted, then what? You can't stop it. You literally can't stop it.
Yeah. Well,
if Superman wakes up one day and he's like, "Yo, I'm tired of this shit, man. I'm tired of saving people. I'm tired of Lex Luthor always trying to f me up. You know what? Fuck it." Right? He goes rogue. Then what? Like, what's gonna happen?
Well, I mean, it was
nothing about it.
It was the same argument you made about LeBron. It's like, you know, LeBron has always made the right decision, and then that whole decision with China, right? Like you go back to him making that wrong decision. It's like it only takes that quick of a second for a billionaire or someone in power to completely change, and it's like we shouldn't even give them that opportunity to make that change.
So we shouldn't give a person an opportunity to affect a massive amount of good change because they could and probably will, in fact, affect a massive amount of negative change.
Bro, even the president got checks, man.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
even the president got checks, bro. The president just can't do whatever he wants. He has to go through some people. There's people around him that prevent him from doing shit. Like, if you're a billionaire, you got all that power. Even the people around you are doing it. You got so much more power than it don't even really matter.
And here's the thing, too, is the government, right? We have been so, like, manipulated by the media and just what we're taught, but the government works for us. They work for us. We're the ones who's paying the taxpayers' money. Now, explain to me this. Walmart, right? Walmart pays their workers, let's say $7 an hour, right? So those workers have to get what? Food stamps and other government support. Who's paying those Walmart workers? You and me.
Me, yeah.
Right? So why, if this guy has this much money, he's a billionaire, why can't he figure out how to pay his employees? Why are we the ones subsidizing Walmart and Amazon and these other companies?
So, I mean, that's a good point, right? And I want to ask, I mean, there's no reason why he shouldn't. I mean, he should. I mean, there's a reason why he shouldn't, because if it's his money, then he can decide what to do with it. And if he doesn't want to do it or spend it in that way, that's his choice. But if there was a case where there was a billionaire who paid all of his employees a living wage, but he was still a billionaire, would that be an issue? Would we still be feeling this way towards billionaires?
Yeah, of course.
Like he has too much money.
Bro, it's that power that they have, bro. Power corrupts. There's no situation where you have that much money where it's not going to corrupt you in some sense, bro. Or like, even if you make a mistake by accident, the mistake you make is so grave.
Yeah.
It's just like it ruins everybody else's life.
And
you can. And you can say the same thing about the good too. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I don't want to be at the mercy of that person.
Well, even good. Why should, if I'm a billionaire, right? and I'm funding all my money towards cancer rather than HIV or something else. Like, why should I still have that power to put all the researching and attention and the media on one thing versus the other? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's your choice. I mean, that's your choice, though. You could have had somebody who died from HIV or something, like someone close to you, and now you made it your life mission to support that cause.
That's fine. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is they are making so much of their money based off of us, and that money that they're using, they can funnel it to use whatever they want and decide, oh, I'm not going to play the game anymore. Would you play Monopoly if I had 80% of the money to start with? No.
How did you have it to start with? How did you get this 80%? Were you working when I was sleeping?
Well, a lot of them. Like,
Come on, man.
Well, a lot of them. I think it's like, I don't know the exact number. I think about 70% get it inherited, and so.
Oh, that's cheap. Yeah, that's cheating.
No. So I
don't like those guys.
Well,
I mean, but all right, hold on real quick.
Okay.
Here's we can use Bezos as an example too. And I don't want to make it sound like I'm shitting on rich people, right? Everybody should want to be rich. Everybody should want to get money.
Right.
Everybody should want to get money. People that say money doesn't matter, like slap them in the face. They lied to you. Yeah. Money doesn't matter. Why you want to work for?
Correct.
Right? Like, why you want that job you hate if money doesn't matter?
I just want to be homeless.
So money matters. Yeah. So you got dudes like Bezos who was like started his company in his garage and whatever. Now you see how he treats his workers. I just don't want people to be able to do that. It doesn't matter if you come from rags to riches or you just inherit the money. I don't want people to be in that position where I can like, oh, you got a minute 30 to use the bathroom. Oh, you took too long, you're out there.
So what's the solution here?
And I mean, I think I got plenty of solutions, but go ahead.
Hold on real quick, Tom. I think the solution could just be, they just gotta be like a cap to how much power a person can have.
A cap to how much money you can make a year?
Yeah, but it'll be an absurdly high amount though. You'll still be like, you'll be like yacht rich. You'll be like,
but not a billionaire.
Not a billionaire. Like
the fundamental
like 500 million or something. Like after that, you just have to separate all the money you have. You have to divide it between other people.
See, the fundamental problem with capitalism is that it was created during a time where we don't have like the economy and the technology that we have now. Like back then, I could have a farm, you could have a farm, we both could have a good living. I could have one job that could support my kids, my family, whatever. Nowadays, that's just not possible. So the game is so like the balance is off the scale. It's crazy. I mean, like there's why things like a wealth tax. There's things like an estate tax that actually gets taxed. Like a lot of these guys aren't even paying taxes. That's the craziest part about this whole thing.
Yeah, that's fucked.
That you and I are paying more than Jeff Bezos. I mean, for years he was making millions and millions of dollars, but because he was making a negative net profit, like he could write that off. Or it's like They create these philanthropies where it's like, oh, I care about the young people of Africa, and all of a sudden they can write that off. And I'm saying,
like put their accounts in like offshore whatever banks so they don't get taxed in the U.S.
And I'm just saying, I'm like, if we had a ratio, or we made it possible where anyone could become a millionaire, or anyone could have the opportunity to even play the field, then like perhaps we can consider a billionaire. But I mean, $1 billion is just so much money.
So I mean, imagine if everyone has the opportunity to become a millionaire.
Yes, I mean it's still not very likely, but it's very possible. I mean, when you talk about inflation and stuff, we probably all will get there as long as you had a college education, you're in, you're working towards something.
But I mean,
and you have a
everyone has
account.
Becoming a billionaire or a millionaire is like getting struck by lightning, the way I see it. Everyone has that opportunity if you're out and about. It just happens if you get chose. Like I could make an app, right? I went to school for computer science. I can make an app tonight and be a millionaire by the end of the year. I could. It's possible, but it's not likely. And that could be anybody. Anybody could go take a course and have that opportunity. Anyone with, access to that, to the courses or the learning or the development or anything like that.
But bro, that's cool and all. Right. Even if it is unlikely, like that's cool. If that's your dream, I'm not telling you shouldn't chase it.
Correct. Yeah.
But
I'm just saying we all have not all, we don't all have it, but many of us have that possibility of becoming millionaires, billionaires. It just happens to be who gets chosen.
Bro, I don't think you realize how much $1 billion is.
$5,000. Imagine if you got $5,000 a week, right? Or no, let's say $5,000 a month. How much is that? 60 a year? That's probably pretty good for most people to live off. Especially if you're with a partner, you're making 60 grand a year, right? I mean, these dudes are making like $5,000 a second. It's crazy. Like that's how much money they have.
But why is the money itself the issue?
Because the money is the power.
Because it's connected to power. It's connected to
what they're doing with it. That's the issue.
No. All right, no. It's not only that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not only the power, but it's just then everyone else has like so much less power now.
Correct.
There's only like
if you got $100.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna finish what you were saying. If you got $100, but Jeff Bezos has 90 of them, how are you supposed to split up $10 between everyone else?
How am I supposed to do it?
How is the government? How is anyone? How, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he has all of the cap of the money, because that's all we have here. You know, I mean, your economy can grow and grow and grow, but I mean, at some point, you know, you have a bubble or it stops. If he has so much money, like, what is everyone else left with?
But that's the thing. You can be Jeff Bezos could have all his billions, and then the Uber CEO can have all his billions as well. And so can the Disney CEO and the Walmart CEO. There's no, like I said, there's no finite amount of money to be made.
You're talking about like maybe 105 people though. Like,
because those are the ones who happen to get struck by lightning multiple times. How often do you think it can happen though?
No, but this is the point though.
Yeah.
It can't happen that many times. So you're only gonna have like a very small number of people that have that power, and that's the problem.
Right.
Look, you just named like what 100 people. Like there's probably.
Well, I can't name all of them.
In the world, there's probably in America, there's probably like 200 billionaires, right?
Right.
On that, 200 billionaires. We'll use that as an estimate right now. We'll fix it if we're wrong. But there's probably like 200 billionaires. So all 200 of those people have all the power. And now what about everybody else? That comes nowhere close to that power, and that's at the mercy of what these people, if they're a good person or a bad person or whatever.
Correct.
Not see that problem.
I mean, see, like America was created on the whole foundation of we don't want a king, right? But that's kind of what we have with these corporations. They are king because they get to control everything. They pass on the money to their kids untaxed, right? So then let's say Jeff Bezos has a son. Now that kid becomes a billionaire, but none of that money gets taxed. So none of that money is in circulation for us, except we are supplementing his workers that he's paying $10 an hour. And you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why it's like, I think the whole billionaire argument really is just about morality, ethics, and do we want an economy that works for everyone? And
I'm not saying it's about human nature.
Yeah, I'm not saying the money has to go to the government either. I'm just saying that person has all that power. It's like, what the hell are you gonna do now? Right?
That's
like now you have,
and that's why it's an issue with human nature for me.
You said what?
That's the question. That's why it's an issue like human nature for me.
Well, that's why we have to find a way to divide it, though. Look at this. We were talking the other day, right? Disney owns everything now, right?
Everything.
Everybody's mad happy when Disney bought Fox. So we get Avengers and X-Men and all this type of stuff. I'm like, all right,
well, that's Sony.
Well, cool. When you only see one type of movie coming out now, in like 10 years, it's not gonna happen now. It'll happen like 10 years when Disney owns every single studio and everything's made a Disney movie. What's gonna happen then?
And then what happens when China buys Disney?
You just see like the wave we're going on, right? Right. That's the same thing with these people, bro. It's like how much power can one person have? There has to be like a cap. I'm not saying the cap has to, like, you put the cap's like 500 million or like 700, but for one person, bro. Correct. For one person, I know what it sounds like.
Yeah, it sounds like you're trying to. Yeah, it sounds.
750 is so much money, bro. It's so much money. I mean, if you have 750 million,
but if you could make more, if you have the potential to make more,
but what's the benefit?
Ethically,
Khelil, what's the benefit? What's the benefit of someone having $50 billion? $50 billion. What is the benefit?
You're set.
You said you.
Get out my face.
I worked for it, didn't I? I worked for it, didn't I? I wanted to be set. I made my billions, and now I'm set.
Bro, if I have $5 billion, the Route 9 is gonna be called Tyrone 9 because I'm gonna be talking to the government. I'm gonna be talking to the police officers. You can't tell me nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how much crazy grows west.
That's what you do. If I have billions, like, you probably won't even know.
But that's my point. So you go the healthy route, you go the silent route, but I choose, I want to have some power, you know?
I come, like, you're Tyrone. If you don't stop this.
You don't care about that.
Of course I do. It's my community too.
But do you care about that? You just go on your own thing.
If I have the money.
You just say you would do your own thing.
You just say you
would do your own thing. If I'm trying to do my own thing and here comes this other billionaire trying to put his thing into my thing, I'm going to stop that.
But he got 50. You got 5.
Batman versus
How's that
Superman
gonna
here.
work?
You know what I'm saying? Same thing. Same thing.
He got 50, Bill. You got 5, Bill. He's just gonna run you out. What happens next?
I'm gonna get some other billionaires.
They saw what happened to you. They said no thanks. What now?
Based on what happened to me?
Yeah, they saw what happened to you. Got run out. What next now? You try to go up against Tyrone with his 50 bill with your 5 billion, and now you broke. So what they gonna do? They go like, oh yeah, let's go, Khelil. Oh no, Tyrone's trying to help all other billionaires. I'm gonna chill out. I'm gonna sit the sidelines on this one.
I mean, that kind of argues against organizing and voting and people coming together in general.
It's more complicated.
That's why we do it.
It's more complicated than that. We're talking about voting and all that.
That's why we do it. That's like saying you don't like your president. So what would you do? Just try to change it yourself, or you want to get more people to vote?
The president got checks on them, bro.
No, but I'm saying when someone is in power and you don't have as much power as they do, what do? You
do, but then you have to be very successful to do that. And I'm saying we shouldn't have to do that for individual people.
Correct.
Like if we do that for individual, you can't vote out Jeff Bezos, bro. You can't do that, bro.
Yeah, and the problem
you can't vote out Bill Gates, man.
Yeah, and the problem is like they don't serve us the same way the government does. The government works for us, Jeff.
But I'm not talking about voting, though.
We're talking about organizing.
Like I'm saying, if like you see Disney becoming a monopoly right now. What if all the other Hollywood studios and movie studios and whatever decide to come together to fight Disney?
They still probably won't have enough money, though.
Why does it even have to get there? You know, why should that even be a situation? Why wouldn't we just say, hey, we need to cap this because this wealth inequality is so large that our citizens are suffering every day from this?
What you just said was actually a really good point. Why won't they do that? They can do that. And oftentimes they do that. You know who did that? The airlines did that. There's only like 4 airlines, right?
Yep.
One airline started charging $15 for bag fees. The other airline can compete with them and try to steal all their customers. Well, there's only a couple of us, so all the money gotta come to us anyways. So all we gotta do now is just, we'll charge $15 too. They can just choose. What's gonna stop that from happening? We both get to eat now, and there's no competition, so there's no incentive to fight each other. We just gotta make as much money as possible.
Yeah.
So do you not understand this problem?
No, I understand that. No, I understand everything you guys are saying. I'm just giving you a counter argument.
I know what you're saying. Like, I really don't want to like count people's money like this, but I feel like there's just too much power a person can have. And even if they do it for good or bad,
I'll count for both of us, bro. It's enough. It's enough. It's enough.
Bro, like
I get what you guys are saying. I understand it. I agree with it, but I just don't want it to be like, now this person has this award-winning idea with the potential to make this much money, and they saw what other people made, and they can think about all the things that they would do if they had that money, but now they can never get there because of all these checks and balances that were just recently introduced.
But these checks and balances are necessary, though. So instead of you being the sole person with this vision or whatever, you simply split that vision amongst other people.
And hope that they were as good as me.
You don't have to split it 50-50. You can still be like 80-10.
Right, but I'm still losing out. And now that money could be going to someone who's corrupt, someone who's going to waste it, when it could have been going to good use if it was with me.
Yeah, but I mean, again, like that goes back to, one person being able to make decision for millions and millions of people. Jeff Bezos' interest might not be my interest. Maybe my interest is more closely aligned with Elon Musk. And then it becomes this, fight of back and forth of billionaire versus billionaire. And it's like the people's voice is completely silenced through that whole process. And just going back to what you originally were saying, you're saying it's not about the money, it's about the ethics, right?
Yeah, like human nature.
Right. So if it's about that, then I think just to even look at the small business thing. So you got homeowners taking the small business loan, right? And they might face criminal charges. Well, you look back at 2008 after the financial crisis when all those criminals willingly, lied to the American people. No one faced any criminal action whatsoever. So it's like, and do you know why? It's because they're the ones paying the politicians. Donald Trump famously said when he was on stage, he's like, look, I know the game is rigged because I'm the one who paid Republicans and Democrats, And so it's like, how does a guy who has all this amount of money, has constantly bankrupt, constantly failed over and over and over, keep getting his chance over and over again? It's because he's the one buying the politicians, and not just, him specifically, like these billionaire owners anyway, Democrat, Republican, independent, whatever. They're all doing the same thing. So the problem is that you're giving this one person so much control to have the fate of the future of America.
Yeah, and I kind of like to even lessen on the specifics. Like we could just like from the philosophical standpoint, I just think we all should be able to agree that like a person can have too much control over other people.
Yeah.
Like from a philosophical standpoint, there has like come on, nah, don't give me that, bro. Don't give me that, bro. There has to be a point where it's like, nah, you got too much of the cake, bro. You got too much of the
I
pizza.
agree with y'all. That's the thing.
Shit.
I agree with y'all. I'm just looking for an argument that would make a strong case for having billionaires.
Well, I mean,
That's what I'm looking for right now. It can't just be get rid of them, problem solved.
So, yeah,
No,
but
I mean, I don't even before you go to you, I don't even want to get into like the solutions and all this type of stuff. I'm just arguing from a philosophical standpoint because of all the problems that arise from it. You know, where it's like if someone's that rich, like someone's like that poor, I don't think it's like there's not an infinite amount of pizza, bro. You know, everyone gets their slice or whatever. Some person's gonna be bigger, some person's gonna be cool, fine. The person who got a small slice could try to get a bigger slice later in life, cool, fine. But that person that got that big ass slice can make it that much harder on the person that got the smallest slice.
Correct.
Right? Or you can just go out and just take it away from him. Like, what's that person gonna do? He has nothing left.
And I think that, you know, the argument, I'm a big look at both sides type of guy, and I think the argument you can make to keep billionaires would be if average Americans actually, it wasn't a lightning strike for them to become millionaires or billionaires. I think that's a fair, you know, resolution. If you want to keep billionaires, you need to make it possible then for other people to become millionaires, because that's just inflation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
but then
if you look at
when everyone's super, no one is.
And that's the way it should be, I think, because if the minimum wage has been $7 since we fucking came over from England, you know what I'm saying? Like, why that in itself should be unethical? Why is the CEOs raising, but the worker isn't? You know what I'm saying? Like that, and it's like just think about how that works for the economy. Think how it works ethically, morally. You know?
I agree with you though. Some people should be super. Some people should absolutely be super. I 100%.
Think some people should be super.
Some people should be super. People, and whoever we decide to make super, through whatever reasons, you know, whether it's like basketball player or freaking singer or actor or whatever, like business owner, cool. But you can
what if I said, yo, you were born and you're 6'7", I'm 5'7". You got all these opportunities, play all these different sports, get all these different scholarships, and I don't have that. We should limit what you can do.
No, it's not the same. That's one facet of life, though. You just like we'll go head to head, and that's just our physical ability, bro. It's not me.
Even that example of sports, right? Like that you just used. There are other sports that you can do if you're a short person. You can play soccer. I have limited opportunities.
Yeah, life's not. I'm not saying life's gonna be fair, bro. I'm not saying life's gonna be fair. Don't get that twisted.
No,
like,
but
you being 6'7".
But why would we? It sounds like we're trying to limit people's potential.
No, I'm just saying you just can't be. We can't have no Superman. That's all it is. Look, I don't want no Superman.
Khelil, you will still be super with $900 million and everyone else has $2 million. You're still gonna be super. Like that's the thing. Like bro, honestly, like just think about my example I just used. $50,000 a second. What if I gave you right now $1 million, what would you spend it on? Honest, just what would you spend on?
Student loans,
right? That's it. And that's what's messed up. Is like the way we think is like, oh, we get this lightning strike. Let me pay back all my debt. They get the lightning strike. It's not a lightning strike for them because they already started on third base. They can create a business, do all these different things. We don't have the same opportunity. We're not even in the baseball game, bro. And they're in the third. And I'm not saying, you know, you're born in third. That doesn't mean you should ever be able to come home. But you have to recognize that this amount of money you have is so grotesque and large, and there's not one billionaire, not one, who's made that money without it coming at an unethical cost.
So the positives of having billionaires don't come close to outweighing the negatives, is what I'm hearing.
I haven't even heard the positives, honestly.
No, yeah, I mean,
we haven't even spoken about that yet, but they are contributing to charities. They're putting money in investments, which is,
you know,
getting
I-
back
But
to
hold
the
on, but
economy.
I love this charity thing too, man. I love this charity example.
Oh my
right?
goodness. Yeah.
Imagine
Yeah,
if
what's
the
going on?
system in place was fixed, so there wouldn't be a need for all these charities.
Correct.
Yeah, imagine that. But I'm saying right now it's not fixed, and so these people with money do
Okay.
contribute to charities.
Khalil.
That's just what it is right now.
But
Khalil,
would it
if
make
I
more
donate-
sense if
And I
those
don't want. I'm
people
not
had less
defending.
money?
Nah, I'm not defending that. I'm just saying this is one of the positive things.
No, I know.
I mean,
know,
all right,
I
whatever.
know.
Yeah, whatever. All
I
right,
know.
positive. Yeah,
I
they
understand. I
contribute to
understand that
charity.
this is something positive you can do, right?
It
This
is.
but this is how you have to look
That's
at it,
all it is.
Khalil. Would you give every day to charity a penny if you could?
I mean, I
You
can
would,
right now.
Yeah, you can. It's just a
So
penny.
why aren't you?
So
Why
it's
aren't you? No, why?
No, continue your question.
it's so like yeah, it's just he's a scumbag. It's just a penny, you know. To them, that's all it is. If I had to donate $1,000 right now to charity, yeah, it goes to a good cause, but that's gonna hurt me a little bit. What they donate never ever is hurting them, and then you have so many bootlickers who go, oh man, I'm so glad Jeff Bezos gave $10 million to him. That's like $10.
But that's still 10 million to who got it.
But that's
still a lot
10.
for
But
them.
no, because it has way more negative effect. You know why? Because when he gives that $10 million, he doesn't have to pay taxes. So all that money he's growing,
So
and
it does
all the
benefit
exploitation
him.
he's having,
I'm
all
not-
that money that would go into taxes, all
I
that
don't
money
want-
that would go into the economy,
I was
it
not
wouldn't
trying to
go
get
towards
into
us.
I
all
don't
the
want charities to
logistics
hurt people.
between donating charity. I'm saying when you give $10 million to the Children's Hospital, the Children's Hospital now has $10 million more dollars than it would have had if you hadn't done that.
But I
That's
understand.
a good thing.
But
And
once
that's
he
what I'm
does
looking
that,
at.
but once he
And I'm not
does
saying there's
that,
no negatives to that. I'm not saying there's no negatives to that. But
Yeah.
we're saying what are the positives? That's one of the positives.
Okay,
It comes with
sure.
negatives,
sure.
but that's
yeah,
one of the
sure.
positives.
Sure.
That's all
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
I guess, yeah, no, I guess you're right. You know, it like you do have to kill a man to give the money, but you had to kill him, right?
There's two sides to it. That's all I'm saying.
But your side,
I'm not
your side
saying
is
it's
like,
perfect and is you just got to look at what they
Man.
do at service level. You're all right. I'm not
No,
saying you're all wrong.
Honestly, I'm trying to think what is a positive of having billionaires, and it's the problem is, I mean, even donating to charity I think honestly has more negatives because then now they get to write their name on the building. Now they have influence. Now they get the free press and PR for their company. So now their stock's going up. So now they make more money.
Right.
Like, again, it's not a bad thing to give money and help charity, but there are definitely negatives that do not get like
yes,
really
I
as much
agree.
emphasis.
I agree. All I'm trying to look for is the positives.
0.
Do you think Amazon will be what it is right now if Jeff Bezos had a limit to how much he could make and what he could do?
Yes.
I don't need
Because-
Amazon to be what it is right now. That's what
Or
I'm trying to tell you.
Walmart.
Though.
Right.
I don't need those.
Right,
I don't need those to be those though.
Do you think Avengers Endgame would have been what it was if Disney wasn't so massive?
My life would be alright without Endgame, bro. I'm telling you, man.
But it
I'm
would have
telling
been
you, bro.
alright,
Hold up,
but it's
hold
better
up.
now in some ways.
Khalil, you care
If you
about
ask me to sacrifice a movie or a chance to get more money and stop the influence of these people, like
Yeah.
come on, bro.
It's better in some ways, it's worse in some ways. I'm saying, but there's a positive though.
Wait, Khalil, you're big on black business, right? And small business, right? You care about that. Wouldn't you rather be able to go up the street to Timmy's, pizza shop or whatever and get a slice
Chili's?
or Chili's. Yeah, we all got to get into that.
Wouldn't you rather do that? Wouldn't you rather go to like your nice favorite Chinese restaurant instead of being forced to the only one grocery store around? Imagine if the only restaurant around was Chili's, bro.
Yeah, what do people order from Amazon? Honestly, like I can't even think what people.
I don't know.
It's like you need a water bottle. Wouldn't you rather be able to just go up the street, get a water bottle from your neighbor, someone you know, someone from your community? That money goes back into your community. Like that's the thing too. Is like you don't think.
But what if it's so expensive I can't afford it?
But that you can't afford it because Amazon exists and they get to control the market.
No, but it could have been like what he said with the airlines. If everyone has a fair shot and they're all in cahoots,
but
it
they
could
don't
just
have
be expensive
a fair
everywhere.
shot. But they don't have a fair shot.
No, they got
because
no, they don't. But what if but you're saying like if everyone did have a fair shot, then everything would be cheaper everywhere else, or would it be like the airlines where everything would just get raised up?
They'll be forced to compete. The reason why the airlines can do it is because there are only a couple of them.
Right. They would be forced to compete, but that's why you would have to implement rules so that they can't keep growing their wealth. And I think
just to get away from like we're trying to figure out solutions, man.
I'm trying to think of positives.
I don't want to like focus too hard on the solutions. Cause
I'm not even thinking about
no
solutions. I'm
politician,
trying to think of just positives.
you know. But there's,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
That's
just
fine.
saying,
We don't got to focus on the solution. You're just talking about philosophy and
yeah. I'm just
ethics, and
saying the positives don't come close to. If your positive is Endgame, bro, I'm sorry, man. It's not good enough for me, dog.
Yeah.
Great movie, phenomenal movie.
And Alex, if you had an extra $1,000 in your pocket, you wouldn't give to charity at the end of the year?
Depends, man. Yeah,
Every month you have an extra $1,000, an extra $2,000 because Amazon is paying you a fair wage. Like, I mean, people
I'm not
have good
saying
hearts. They're
these
gonna
positives outweigh the negatives. I'm not saying Endgame is worth an extra $1,000 in your pockets. I'm not saying that. Just to be clear, all I'm saying was there are some good things that came out of Billionaires.
Not enough. So you said no.
Not
you
enough.
said
not enough.
No, you said charity. We got Endgame.
That wasn't a real one. I was thinking around.
Nah, you was stalling, bro. You was stalling. You couldn't think of nothing, bro. You was stalling, man. Don't do that.
I couldn't. I have to. I'm trying. I couldn't.
I mean, I guess you could say theoretically, right? Let's say there was a good billionaire or LeBron James, right? So he's a rag the riches story. And even him kind of, that's a little finessey, like how he got there too, but we don't have to get into it. But he's a billionaire now, right? And he's giving his money back to the community. He's doing something positive. But the problem is not everyone, one, should have to be a political person. Not everyone wants to do that. And they shouldn't have to control or have a positive, to give their money back to a community just for it to have a healthy economy. We can have a healthy economy by capping how much money these people are making through taxes or whatever, and that going back. And again, you don't want to talk about solution, that's fine. But I'm saying that you relying on everyone to take the LeBron James route, I can't do that. I can't do that. And that's why I got to say billionaires shouldn't exist.
I agree. That, man. No, I agree. I was just looking for a way to find out, like, you know, if there's like a little something we overlooked, a little loophole that we didn't see. Because it can't be that they're all bad. Then why do they exist? Why did the founding fathers go with this model? I think you explained that earlier.
Well, right? You talking about people who thought they should own you? Those people? Those guys, right? The ones that thought they should own you? Those guys?
The great founding fathers.
Those guys? Yeah. I'm supposed to take their word with reverence, you know, and they could do no wrong. The Constitution, those guys. But
I'm saying no. I'm not going into if they were ethical or not, but they had a good head on their shoulders in some regards.
Well, but that's because they existed in a system where I could be a farmer, you could be a farmer, we could have a good living, we both could make enough money, ends meet. Now that system does not exist any longer.
Because so, you know, one farmer decided, I can actually farm, and I can do this other shit too, though.
Well, because they decided cheap labor. They decided cheap labor. Well, I mean, honestly, what Alex just said about
innovation happened.
No. It's about what Alex just said. Slaves. They decided, hey, rather than paying indentured service, I can get these slaves to do it for free, and I'm gonna exploit these people, and that's how they became millionaires and billionaires, and that's still what happens today. That's the same thing.
So slavery is the bottom line for what makes capitalism fail.
Sorry, say that last part again.
Slavery was the cause of the failure of American capitalism.
I'd say oppression, not just slavery. I mean, look how women are. They make what seven to the man's dollar. I mean, it's not just a black-white thing, race thing. It's people taking an oppressed group, not giving they have starvation wages. And now the CEO takes all that extra chunk that they could have given them, not giving them health care, not giving them XYZ, and they put it into their pocket. That's why it's unethical to me.
I'll get into all these logistics, man.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm thinking,
did your reparations check come in yet, man?
For me?
You got your reparations check from Umar yet? No?
I think Don's going to revoke mine, bro.
I'm waiting for reparations check.
If we're talking about the guy who made Flappy Bird.
Okay.
I think I saw an article saying he made like $600,000 a day. Right off the app.
Oh my God, dude. That's just...
Because
sick.
This is what I
Fam,
heard. This was years ago. This was years ago. I'm not sure if it's true. That's what I read. I didn't
bro.
check the
That's
source.
cool.
But
But
let's
this
say
comes
it's
a
fine.
time where it's just too
But
much.
but that's not built off
It
the back
can't
of
go to one
oppression, though.
person, fam. And that has nothing to do with the person. Well, you can say that, cool. And if he did the most ethically way possible, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
If he did the most, he just created an app, and all the app, he just got money off purchases and ads. Cool. But it comes to a point where it's just like, nah, now you're getting too much. This has to be divided amongst your company more evenly. Is that fair, bro? Is that fair?
Company.
I think
it's just you.
And,
Yeah.
and I mean, look at this. Shit. I think people would have a more positive image of the billionaire if they gave a portion of their company back to their workers. You know, I think, look at this. So when,
stocks.
well, they do that to inflate their stock, and that's the only reason I personally think they do it.
I don't care what these guys do, honestly. Like, not to cut you off, Tom. Like, I don't care what these guys do. They just shouldn't have that much money. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't, bro. You cannot spend. You know how it would be to spend $500 million. You know how that would be.
You can't.
Now imagine 750. Now imagine
that's
like
why,
900 million, bro. Like, do you know how much money that is? 900 million. 900 million.
I agree with you, bro.
You can spend $1 million per day. And that would last you how long? How long?
You would grow the money back from buying assets. That's how much money it is.
Like, bro, it's just too much. There's just too much, man. You can have too much cake, bro.
So there's no argument against why billionaires should exist.
The only argument that exists, or reason that people even have this idea that it should exist, is because they control the media. And the reason they can control the media is because they have the power, because they have so much. As Alex said, you know, if I make an app and I make, you know, I become a millionaire, whatever, I did it ethically, cool, fine. But once I start, like, honestly, I'm an entrepreneur. I've always, you know, I've made companies. I've, you know, made websites. I built a little bit of a following. I have never once gone, yeah, I think I want to be a billionaire. Like, my mindset has always been, I want to have enough money to support me, whatever I need to do, my future family, and that's it. And they don't have that mindset because they're so greedy that they just want it all. And
right.
The important thing that you said was, yes, you know, one person could make a difference, but once they start competing back and forth, even me, if my company, you know, I'm built it from the ground up, I got the best app, all of a sudden I hear, oh shoot, Khelil's got an app? Oh, no, we gotta work on that because I can't be number two. Because if you can't have that much money and power and not start to become an egomaniac. You know what I mean?
Kind of like how Uber felt when Lyft started.
Correct.
Hey man, power corrupts, bro.
And the free market and, you know, capitalism is just, the whole idea is that, like, everyone can have millions and we can all have a good living. That was true at one point. It no longer is, and that's why billionaires shouldn't exist. If we were talking in 1776 and I said, should thousandaires exist? I'd be like, yeah, why not? You know, we can all make our money, and if you work hard and put the time in, but that is not the case anymore. And that's why billionaires can't exist. And when I try to think about the positives, you know, there's ways we could change the system to potentially make it positive, but I just don't think it's,
the positives they're not really worth it.
It's not going to be worth it, you know? I mean, one of the ideas I haven't heard too many people say, but I like is, so billionaires, right? They always pass their money on to their kids and there's no taxes on it or whatever, right? Well, if they don't want to pay taxes so bad, they should have to take a portion of that money and give it to the children of their workers and their employers. Alex, would that change anything for you? Would that make it more ethical, or would you allow billionaires?
I mean, it's nice, but it's not enough.
No.
Yeah, it's still not enough, right? That's a fantasy,
man.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fantasy land idea that I just came up with in the perfect world, and it's still like, I still don't want them to have all that power.
And so when they become billionaires, they should give to the point where they dip below that $1 billion threshold, and then
I don't know what the number is, but there needs to be a cap though. Like maybe like 750 mil, 500 mil, but like we're talking a lot of money, bro. Like it's really hard for humans to imagine how much money.
But you have to put the cap somewhere. It would actually make a difference, because you can't just move from $1 billion to like 800 million, because then that person probably still has pretty much this amount of power.
Because $500 million, right? If I became a millionaire, I worked hard, right? In this new system that we have, if I'm a millionaire, right, and you have 500 times the amount of money, that's more than enough for you. That's enough. Because if I'm a millionaire, I can have a home. I could, have a boat. I could treat my family is set. And you would have 500 times what I have. Like, this is what Alex's point is like, it's so much money, you can't even figure out what the right number is. Because you're like, how can you sit here and say someone should be able to have 100 million when you have people who don't have $100 in their account? Like, it's just crazy.
What y'all do with y'all Trump checks, by the way, man? I'm curious. Let me
I don't want to just say, there shouldn't be billionaires because they're poor people. Because there's different reasons for being billionaires and there's different reasons for being poor.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying more of like, like, if you have that much amount of money, you should have to somehow contribute and help society, because them helping society will end up making them more money anyway. You know what I'm saying? But they don't choose to do that, and that's criminal to me. You can't have that much amount of money and not choose. In
an ideal world, like, the government would be the medium, and that money gets recycled back into those companies. Like something like that, right?
Yeah.
But on a lighter note, man. On a lighter note.
Your stimulus check, right? Like you just said, right?
Yeah. How y'all been spending y'all Trump check, man? Be honest. What you been doing, bro?
I got a good portion I put into stocks. A good portion I use it on my credit card. And what's funny, right, is that's supposed to be a stimulus check for us, but I spent that money to pay back the credit card and bank companies, and
your bank card was your stimulus then. What was you spending your money on, man? What's going on, bro? Talk to me, man.
That's what I expected on. So I'm saying, like,
no, why was that credit card so high, bro? What you been spending your money on, man? What's going on?
See, now you're getting into getting into the bank account summaries too much. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm trying to get into like the debt system.
No. I ain't trying to get
on a serious note, I'm trying to create my own company, social media site, kind of deals with movie, television. It's called the Circle Club, and like I told you, I'm always kind of create my own business stuff, because honestly, I think the only way for people to get out of poverty, like, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back here, but like, I'm kind of a poor to middle class story in the sense.
So what's that? It's like rags to Honda.
I mean, I mean, it's like I was saying. Growing up, I had I free lunch, assistance, and all that stuff, and now it's like I'm in this nice apartment. I'm not gonna say where, but I'm in this nice apartment.
Hey, man, if you're living in Belmont, bro, it's all good, man. Don't worry about
it. Doing my thing, here with my girl, So, but I truly believe, going back to just me talking about what I spent my check on, is investing in myself, really. And so that's me trying to make this company take off. That's me, putting into my savings or stocks or whatever.
So what you tell me is Trump checks is working then?
For me, because I'm doing well, but I can't say the same for someone who's living paycheck to paycheck.
True.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Cool. What you been doing with your Trump check, man?
I told you, saving.
For what?
Touching it.
What are you saving for?
So Khelil must be doing real good then, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
he's just a hoarder, bro. That's why he's defending these billionaires so much. I mean,
he's
a hoarder, bro.
Right?
Man, that's what he's doing now, bro. He's just hoarding, fam.
If I don't need to spend it, why would I spend it?
Hey, man.
I mean, I could pay off some credit cards. I could pay off some debts, but I can just keep paying the minimum on that. So when it comes time where I need some money, I'm in a tough spot. I blow out a tire. I need a new transmission or something like that. Then I got the money in the bank.
What about you, Alex? What you spending yours on? You over here killing everyone else's money.
Oh, man. Shit. What I've been spending my money on, man? I think I bought like 10 OnlyFans. I bought like...
Oh, right. Sick guy.
I'm joking, man. If you pay for that shit, you an idiot.
It's free, bro. What do you mean?
Yeah. Freaking... What I've been spending my money on, man? Buy some groceries, man. Buy some groceries. Pay off my credit card.
Did you pay it off?
Yeah, my credit card usually never goes over $200 a month, though. I'm just using it for 1% cash. I'm just using it for 1% cash back. Freaking. What else I've been doing, man? My loans took You don't gotta pay off your loans anymore. What y'all doing, man? Y'all still paying them, or y'all not
Oh
paying
yeah,
them?
of
No more?
course. There's no interest, so everything you pay now goes to principal.
Oh, did I?
Bro, you didn't know that?
Yeah.
Nah,
They either lowered the interest or removed it.
I had my joint on auto debit, bro, and they just took it off. Auto
Yeah,
debit.
that's a good thing.
Yeah, same.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. No, I stopped because there is no interest. The way I look at it is there's two ways. You either keep paying it back, or you take the extra that you was gonna spend and now it's in your savings, your pocket, and then when you get back into paying it, now you're just back in the regular system. So
there's no interest for real though.
Either none or lowered.
Yeah, I have no interest on mine.
Jesus, man. You see, I'm still paying that private one from Sally Mae, bro. So that's hurting me a little bit. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, Sally Mae, man.
I still got that. Man, I'm not even gonna get to the numbers, bro. It just hurts. Just know it hurts, man.
Yeah, and the thing with the student loans for me too is like I feel like it's one of those things you're gonna be paying forever anyway. Like, so
not for me.
I can't happen. It can't happen.
Look. I'm not gonna be paying it forever, but like majority of people they're gonna be paying it forever anyway. So it's like the way you look at it is like you. I don't know about you guys, but I had a credit card when I was in high school. So I've been building credit for a long time, but like a lot of people, it doesn't really benefit unless they can pay it off early for them not to keep paying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't have any credit history. So,
yeah, man. No, I can't.
But I hate that. I mean, I
got to pay off my loans, but I know a couple people that just said like, that just gave up on them shits, and I'm like, nah, it can't be me, bro.
Gave up? What you mean? Just like stop paying?
Stop paying. That joints come out there like, incoming IRS, like freaking, I don't even know what you call that process when IRS just takes money out your paycheck.
Bro, can't you just put it in forbearance indefinitely if you don't want to pay it no more?
You got to pay that joint eventually.
Yeah.
There's no limit to how many times you can put it into forbearance, though.
Yeah, but I think
they'll do like an income based joint.
Right.
So
yeah.
So I know somebody who's like they like refinance their joint,
mm-hmm.
and now their joint's going back up because they're paying like the minimum. So they're just paying the interest per month, or like they're paying like slightly under the interest per month, but they're paying nothing on the principal, and they're still not covering the whole amount of the interest. So now it's just going back up and down.
Now the loan's going.
Man,
like, bro, nah, I can't be me, son.
Look, I feel like the thing is too, it's a long shot, but like,
nah, don't say it. It's not happening.
But listen. If the economy gets so bad, they're gonna have to forgive.
Right now.
They're gonna have to forgive something. They're gonna have to forgive something.
Don't get the people hopes up.
Low forgiveness, bro. Come on.
Listen. Alex, the only reason I say that is not because they care about us. It's greed. Like, if we can't spend anything, man, it's gonna be like we're in like the Great Depression. They're gonna have to do something. I'm not gonna say they're gonna pay the whole thing, a quarter, half, because bro, if I can't spend, like if I'm honestly hurting, I'm not worried about my student loans. I'm getting groceries. I'm worrying about that. You know what I'm saying? So like, man, I'm not paying for Amazon and all this extra stuff.
Man, don't count on it, man.
Best case scenario, when do you think that'll happen? Like within the next 2-3 years?
No.
Okay, I'm getting rid of that then.
Them loans is never getting paid off by no government ever, bro. It's not happening, bro. Unless your name.
But look what they just did with these stimulus checks, right? They just gave us all $1,200. You know, it's like they know
$1,200 in Massachusetts, man.
No, I'm not saying it's anything. I think it's BS. But I'm saying like they know damn well that $1,200 is not enough. First off, if you're in Florida, you should not be getting the same as Massachusetts. But second, they know, all right, you got to give people money because that's the only thing that's going to get the economy rolling again. So that's why I feel like if it's not student loans, it's going to be something, man. And honestly, if they do another package, right, they give us like, let's say they give us $1,600, I'm personally going to be using that towards like getting my debt down. I'm not, so it's kind of the same thing. Like it's a stimulus package for us. That's what I'm saying. Not like they're going to just wipe it all unless we I'm not gonna get into it. But if we get the right guys in the White House, then
a man can dream, man. A man can dream, bro. Oh, if any president ever took off my student loans, bro,
I don't care if you got an R next to your name, D, L, T, Q, whatever, man.
My new favorite.
My student loans.
You could be an evil ass person, bro. You take off them loans, I love you forever. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, quote from Alex from an Opinion Factory. Everybody got a price.
Everybody got a price, fam. Ooh. Pay off my loans,
on
bro.
yours, right?
I'll start praying to you every Sunday, man.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody got a price,
Jesus.
man.
Anyways,
Hey,
man.
man, this has been dope though, for real, yo. Thanks for inviting me in, man.
Yeah, no
Appreciate you
problem.
coming, man. Question of the
Appreciate
week. We
you,
talked
man.
about it for like 40 minutes or so. Should billionaires exist? Why?
I was trying to find a
No.
way to kind of finagle in there that maybe they should exist in some regards, but I couldn't think of anything.
Just can't
really.
have too much. Having too much of the.
Yeah,
They heard
man,
what we were
see-
saying, anyways, man.
All great arguments from you two.
Nope.
Thanks to our
Nothing to
guest,
say to it.
TRose. TRose, where can the people find you, man?
You can find me on Twitter, Mr. TRose Bot. I do a lot of talk about the political stuff there. The Circle Club on Instagram, TikTok. The site's growing. You'll hear about it for sure because I'm gonna make sure you hear about it. The marketing is gonna be crazy next year.
Like that.
And man, you guys got a dope platform for real. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, it's a pleasure,
This
man.
has just been good, man.
Thank you for the kind
No
words.
doubt, no doubt.
Opinion
Tottenham,
Factory
baby.
podcast. Get that nonsense off my screen right now. All right,
These guys.
Chelsea forever, man. Opinion Factory podcast, Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you listen to your podcast.
Mhm.
Find us on Instagram at the Opinion Factory.
Twitter,
We will see
Facebook.
y'all.
Thank you,
Don't
guys.
forget to like, share, and subscribe. Almost wrapped up the outro. Share with your friends, family, whatever. And we will see y'all next week.
Next week.
Take care, guys.